Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Blue Ox Avail tow bar on a 2015 Ford F-53 Motorhome chassis. Now there's 5 main components required for flat towing your Equinox down the road, and we'll start on the vehicle side, and that's going to start with the base plate, and that attaches to the frame of the vehicle and gives us the structural mounting point for the rest of our connections. And the connecting point between the base plate and the hitch on the RV is going to be your tow bar, and that's your second component. Again, this is the physical attachment, basically like the coupler of your trailer. This is what is going to pull this down the road. Now, just like a trailer, you also have safety cables just in case of disconnect. It's going to attach to the safety chain loops and then also the ones on the hitch of the RV. We have diode wiring, which is going to transmit the light signals from the RV to the taillights on the towed vehicle, giving you your running lights, your turn signals, and brake lights, keeping you safe and legal. Some braking systems, like we have today as the Stay and Play Duo, require having that diode wiring to tap into. We also have that Stay and Play Duo, which is our supplemental braking system, and that is when you apply the brakes on the RV, it's going to slow and stop the towed vehicle. And also the breakaway switch, in case of a catastrophic disconnect where everything was to fail, it's going to pull this cable, applying the brakes, that way the vehicle's not rolling down the road. Now with this vehicle, something else you're going to want to pick up to get the indication that you're braking is going to be a stoplight switch, and that's just going to be a physical trigger to let you know that the brakes are being applied. Now this tow bar is a heavy duty tow bar. This one is rated at a 10,000 pound weight capacity. So for something like this Equinox, it's no problem. But if you ever plan on moving to a larger vehicle, or if you have another vehicle in your fleet, you have the peace of mind of knowing that this is heavy duty enough to handle that. And it's never a problem to go up as far as capacity. I have no issues or any concerns that this would ever be too much for this tow bar towing an Equinox. So you'll have that peace of mind. Now there's a few things that make this tow bar a really good option. It's a fairly basic one overall, but it's really nice that it's a non-binding tow bar, and that's something you see on a lot of the newer ones and something that I recommend to everyone. Older style tow bars are binding, which means they're great for towing down the road, but when you need to retract the arms and unhook your towed vehicle, these arms are locked in place, and unless you're on perfectly flat level ground, which most campsites aren't, you're going to have a hard time getting that to disconnect. And so if you've ever seen someone at the campsite smacking their tow bar with a hammer, that's because it's a binding tow bar. You won't have that issue here because no matter what angle you're at, you should be able to draw this arm back by simply pushing the lever, allowing you to get your arms taken off and separate from your towed vehicle. Now, some other features that this has are going to be that it comes with safety cables. We have our older ones on here, but the fact that you'd have new ones is going to be great. They're going to be a coiled style, which is going to kind of keep everything nice and tidy. Some other things is on your arms, you have these rubber boots that it's going to keep the shaft nice and clean and working properly. And here we're attached to a Blue Ox base plate, so we have our Blue Ox ends and our pins, which works out great. But if you do have a different style base plate, whether it be a Roadmaster, Demco, eTrailer, whatever it may be, you can get the ends to adapt your Blue Ox tow bar to whatever base plate you may have. Now, as I mentioned, this is being non-binding. I'll show you how to fold this up and unhook from your vehicle. It's pretty simple. You'll take the linch pins out, and then to draw the arm back, I'll just push my lever back, bringing this back. We'll then unhook the rest of our components. And one of the features that I really like about this tow bar, you will see here in just a sec, is it is self-supporting, which seems like, nothing special, but until you're hooking up a tow bar, these can flop all over the place and kind of make for a cumbersome time, whereas this one holds itself up, which makes it really easy to just draw this into place. So not all tow bars have that. This is one that has it, and I think it's really great. So at this point, you just draw your arms together. You'll then raise this shank up. And at this point, you can choose to store it to one side or the other. Now, as far as keeping this on the back of your RV, if you wanted to keep it looking really nice and also have a spot to kind of keep all your components, you can pick up a Blue Ox tow bar cover, and that's a great way to really protect your investment, but also keep everything nice and tidy as you're going down the road. Another thing that's nice about this is it has 2 holes in the shank, so you can really determine whether or not you need a little bit extra space, or you can draw it in a little bit closer. And that worked out really well in our situation because we kind of have a lot going on here. We have an extension with a high-low adapter, and then also a high-low adapter going down. So that's so we can have our cargo carrier, and extending this out might give us that little bit of extra clearance if we need to clear our cargo carrier. But something you're going to want to look at when choosing any tow bar is measuring the hitch height of your RV, and then also measuring the tabs of your base plate. And that way you can determine whether or not a rise or a drop is necessary. And you're going to try to keep it in a 3-inch window. The tow bar should be as level as possible, and that's going to give you the best towing experience. And that was a look at the Blue Ox Avail tow bar on a 2015 Ford F-53 Motorhome chassis.